So the Japanese, they have a philosophy that's known as KAIZEN. It's spelt K-A-I-Z-E-N. And this philosophy centers around the idea that a person should improve in some small way every single day. They theorize that if you don't see a man for 3 days, when you see him again after those 3 days, you should notice some small change within him. Even if it's something you can't quite put your finger on, but in some way you notice an improvement in him. And this explains a lot about Japan's attitude towards work and towards innovation, especially since World War II, where they built themselves up from the defeat and also the devastation of the Second World War to become the economic powerhouse that they are today. Even if they have problems with their aging population, the rest of it. But you can't deny that when it comes to world economies, Japan has been at the forefront of technological innovation. And it centers around this principle called Kaizen. Tony Robbins has also popularized it in his material, although he's shortened it to CANI, C-A-N-I, and it stands for constant and notable improvement. And this is something that you can adapt as well. It's that theory that you should get better at one little thing every single day, even if it only seems like a small thing on a day-by-day basis. Over time, that's going to add up. And if you've been following this channel for a while, you know, in the past I've spoken about just doing whatever's necessary and just turning up each day, and the difference that makes the more that time goes on. But think of it this way, because I've heard it explained this way, and it's 100% true if you do the maths, that if you're getting just 1% better at a particular pursuit every single day, in a year you're going to be 365% better at that pursuit than you were the previous year. So imagine that over the span of 5 or 10 years. Imagine how much better and more accomplished you could be at something, at just one thing, if you gave just 1% extra effort towards it, if you got just 1% better on a daily basis. And that's where it all adds up. So, I know in my own life, I've spoken in the past about journaling as well, and I don't journal every day. I wish that I had, but I haven't. But even so, even not journaling every day, I've noticed an improvement in how I write. And as they say, they reckon it takes about 10,000 hours to master a craft. I'm not sure if that's a universal thing or whether that just applies to some certain pursuits. But obviously, the more time that you spend at something, the better you're going to get at it. I remember when I realized that I needed to get back to the gym, because there'd been periods in the past where I'd gone to the gym for a while and then I dropped out. But this time I wanted to go back and I wanted to stick with it. This is a few years ago now, but when I went to the gym, when I stepped into that gym that winter, I was underweight. I did have some definition, but I was underweight and I wanted to gain strength. I wanted to gain strength and gain mass. So I was training at the gym like 4-5 days a week. But where it really stood out for me was 6 months later, about 6 months after I went back to the gym, just going 4 or 5 days a week, focusing on particular types of exercises, doing the right amount of sets, reps, all that sort of stuff. And I'm not, if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I hardly ever post photos of myself on Instagram. It's not my thing. And so I'm not one of these people who takes all these selfies at the gym and then posts some trite motivational quote on my social media. No offense if somebody does that. It's not my thing. But I took a photo of myself in the mirror after about 6 months at the gym. From memory, I think I was sending it to a friend who was just asking how my progress was going. But what made me stand up and take notice was after I snapped this photo, because I looked at the guy in the photo, and tell me if this has ever happened to you. You see a photo of yourself, and while you recognize that it's you, I mean, obviously it's you in the photo, but it doesn't feel like you're looking at yourself. It feels like you're looking at somebody else. It's a strange feeling. I'm sure that you've probably felt that too. Maybe it was a photo from your past, or maybe it's a photo very recently. And for some reason, even though you understand, obviously it's you, it doesn't look like you. And this was the feeling that I had when I looked at this photo that I just snapped at the gym. I I looked like one of those. I felt like I was looking at one of those guys that I used to think, oh, they're just arrogant, they're full of themselves. Look at how built they are and all the time they spend at the gym. And I realised that guy was me, and it was just a strange feeling to see that photo and to realise that the guy in that photo was me. And that was over a period of 6 months, and not even going to the gym every day. But for me, it was that moment where I saw the physical proof of what just a little bit of improvement on a consistent basis can do. Your results could be quite literally unrecognisable in a good way. So the question is, what's your one thing? What's even just that one thing that you'd like to be doing better? Maybe it relates to something in your professional pursuits, or maybe it's a hobby, maybe it's an instrument that you've always wanted to learn how to play, or a language that you've spoken for years about learning. It could be anything. As I said, it could be related to your career pursuit, could be related to a financial pursuit, could be related to just a hobby, something that you do for fun, or maybe it's, like me, it's a fitness goal. But what's your one thing that you could focus on just doing that little bit better every single day? Share it with me, guys. I'd be really interested to hear either what you're working on or what you'd like to work on. Because if it's something that you've been putting off because you just felt like there wasn't enough time, or if it was just too big a task, the good news is it's just going to take that 1% extra effort every day. And in the space of not even a year, I can all but guarantee that you will see results for it. And they might be results that you don't recognize in a good way. But share your thoughts, guys. Is this something that you've heard of before? Is this something that you're currently doing? Or is this something that you'd like to try? Just let me know.